You have what a lot of people are talking about as the Tesla killer. I don't know what you think of that moniker, but the I-Pace, this electric vehicle, is really groundbreaking in that you beat all of your competition kind of to the punch with this. Tell us about the vehicle.
The vehicle is a game changer. And these kind of opportunities don't come very often. But years ago, we designed this vehicle with a clear aim to deliver something special, to use the liberation of this kind of new propulsion system and have it consequently packaged without any compromises. And so this vehicle really goes back to the DNA of Jaguar, with grace, space and pace. And that means a new design language, new proportions in design, more interior space and a small footprint, and a new agility, a new drivability, instant torque, 696 Newton meters. So it's really a very interesting vehicle, and it takes away the range anxiety.
696 Newton meters is, for those of you who don't know a lot about cars, a massive amount of torque, which is the power that pushes you forward. What are you expecting as far as sales numbers from this?
We see already that there's a high demand coming in and people really like the vehicle. So I don't want to give a prognosis because nobody else has these kind of vehicles. There's no comparison, so that's a very first. And nobody knows how many people really want to go this kind of first step. It's a convincing product.
Let's talk first about the European market. It had been growing and seems to have peaked now as far as car sales, or how do you see it from a JLR perspective, the European market for the industry?
Overall, the industry is growing in Europe, and we all see slight growth in Europe, less so in the UK, and but it's encouraging.
What are your plans for the UK? I mean, of course, Jaguar Land Rover, the UK is in your DNA. You were born there. I'm sure you'll stay there. But how do you prepare for Brexit? Are you starting to pull some of your operations onto the continent, into other markets?
No, first of all, the UK is our home market. Jaguar Land Rover is a British company and we will stay in Britain. We are absolutely committed. We have all our research, all of our development, all of our design in the UK, and quite clear also the plants in the UK. So we will stay there. But I absolutely hope that the politicians on both sides are clear that only free and fair trade at the end of the day delivers the wealth for both societies. And if you think a little bit back, maybe 200 years or so, Adam Smith and Ricardo already defined this kind of theories, so that protectionism is not the right thing to do. And these kind of theories are still valid today. So British economists have proven that free and fair trade is the best for the society.
It doesn't seem that the White House has read much Adam Smith lately. So much talk of steel tariffs in the U.S. has become the talk of really the show so far. What are your concerns about steel tariffs and how that would affect Jaguar Land Rovers being exported into the United States?
We hear or read a lot of Twitter or hear a lot of information, but we don't see at the very moment details. Therefore, at the moment, we cannot make any comment or cannot make any statement about this kind of development.
But how much are you actually shipping to the U.S.? I mean, how much of your product is going into the U.S. that would be affected by tariffs were they to?
The U.S. market is a very important market for Jaguar Land Rover. We have been in the market since decades. And the U.S. is one of our biggest regions globally. And therefore, we hope that this kind of free and fair trade relationship also will continue in the years to come.
Let me finally ask you about China. They seem to be ahead of the curve as far as electrification. As far as infrastructure, they're working very hard on it in China, seemingly much harder than the Europeans and the Americans. How much do you expect that to help sales of the I-Pace?
China is the biggest automotive market globally anyhow, and we expect that with the power of the market that we will also sell a huge portion of I-Paces in China. And it's an important market. China is really a great market for us.
Finally, I want to ask you about Land Rover. I hear there's a new special vehicle coming out later. Can you tell us anything about your debuts?
Please wait and watch. The vehicle talks about its own.